Year twos, Ms. Nora is here with you. I hope you all had a wonderful and relaxing break. So, the year two teachers have decided to take this opportunity that we came back from holidays and we would like to review what a recount is and how to write a great recount by recalling all the events that you've done during your time away from doing any schoolwork. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over with you this PowerPoint about the expectations and what year two teachers would like to see in detail when we see a great piece of personal recon from a year two students. Here we go. So remember, boys and girls, in order to write a great recount, we're always answering questions from the five W's and how. We all recall in our fiction unit that we had the five W's and how of who, when, where, what, how, and why. So when you start answering these questions in your personal recount, you will find yourself writing much more in detail, and your personal recount you'll find becomes much more interesting. So when you're recounting your events, you are discussing your experiences, what you've done during all these 10 days when you had no school. So you're mentioning yourself, the people who were with you, your parents, your friends, your siblings, your family. And you want to also be specific about the where. So this is mentioning the setting, and you want to be very specific about that when describing the setting. And that's when we say this is where you start using lots of adjectives to describe the place. So you're describing the size and how it looks like, its color, and its detail, basically. You're also describing in very great detail what did you do. So you want to go with us over those 10 days. What are the major things that you've done? So you did lots of crafting activities, you decided to read more, you decided to work more on your reading or maybe on your writing. Maybe you had family come over for a visit and you haven't seen them in a while. You want to talk about all these wonderful things that you decided to do during your 10-day break from school. Also, you want to be mentioning when did this happen. So when I say when, you're still discussing the setting. So you want to be specific about what was the day of the week and also the time of day. So this was in the morning time, this was in the afternoon, or this was in the evening. And also it's very important that you mention why did you choose this activity. So discuss your feelings with us and tell us why and your personal opinions and what were you thinking deciding on doing this activity. So for example, you decided to learn how to ride a bike or like how to practice your skating skills. So tell us exactly and share with us exactly your feelings. And this is exactly the starting point on how to write a detailed and a more personal recount of what you've done. For a great recount, boys and girls, you need to remember the following, that you're always writing in order. So you always have the beginning part, in the middle part, and the end part. In the beginning part, you're introducing who was in the recount. So it was you and your family members, your friends, your cousins. And then you're also describing the setting of the place. So you're describing that I was maybe at my grandma's house or I was at my playground in the compound. Be specific about your setting. And also get to the end when you're describing how your activity ended and how did you feel about the whole day. So be specific by using adjectives and adverbs. When I say write in paragraphs, separate your ideas, like I mentioned before, and write them in order. So you have a beginning part, and a middle part, and an end part. So always write in chunks and write in order. Always use sequence words, and examples are like the ones that we all know: first, second, later, next, and there will be more examples that I'll be posting on the next slide. Use detailed vocabulary words. You have lots of adjectives and adverb choices that we would like to see more often in your writing, please. So you can just go on our Google site. We've listed a lot of adjectives and adverbs that you may use, or you can just search a few with mom and dad in order to include in your writing, because this really helps us understand your feelings and how you're visualizing your story, so we're able to understand it, and it makes your writing much, much more interesting, boys and girls. And as I said again, that the sequence words that we would like to see as starters for your recount are finally, later, meanwhile, next, firstly, then, and eventually. What others can you think of? I'm sure you can come up with a few more, definitely. So now, year two teachers, boys and girls, would like you to write a recount about your spring break, on those 10 days when we had no school. Please add your detailed writing using adjectives, using adverbs, and describe your feelings. And don't forget to include speech marks. When I say speech marks, boys and girls, like if someone said something important to you and you want to include that in your writing, you put that in quotation in speech marks, and you tell us who said that and what did you say back and what did you do and where did you go in wonderful detail. I hope this all comes up in a great piece of writing that we would like you to submit by taking a picture of your writing and then upload it into your journal. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye for now.